I want to hear about the craziest party that you have ever thrown.
Yo, this is a good one because I can I can talk about this now.
Yes.
It's
and
like,
this isn't like, you know when something like scary happens in your life and you're like, in 2 years there's going to be a great story.
Yes.
But right now this is probably the scariest thing in my life.
Yes.
Yeah. So
now we can tell it.
Okay, here we go. This is a good one. And you guys might have heard about it. Okay. So I used to do this party in Hoboken, New Jersey, and it was awesome. It was like 15 minutes from my house. I lived in Manhattan. You go right across the river, and it was just like they paid the best. It was hot Jersey girls, and it was just a shit show. Let me do whatever I wanted.
Shit show.
There you go. So I show up to this party like any other time. I would do this twice a month. It literally paid for my entire life just doing those two parties.
You would charge?
Oh, yeah.
No? Yeah?
You're going to show for free?
Well, I don't know. Your site was for free.
I'm a Jew. Okay. So look, the site is free to everyone, but at the end of the day, you'd book me to shoot your club because then I would post the photos and it's like you're buying ad space essentially, right? So the club owners were buying and the consumer was just taking it all for free.
So how much would you have to pay to go to one of your parties?
I mean, I tried to make them free.
Yeah.
How much would the club pay me?
No, but like, so girls I could just go to one of the parties.
I mean, look, if you were like, Kirill, can I come to your party? I don't think anyone's going to charge you to get in, right? Like they let in like
just
fucking
making
mutants.
sure, okay? I'm like, I know the person.
So I'm doing this party in Hoboken. It's like any other party, but I remember these details, which is kind of nuts. So this dude rolls up and he just like the alpha handshake. He's just like, bro, big fan. Bro, this is my wife. We drove here from Philly. We're so excited. I'm like, this guy is already like, this is 9:30 p.m. I'm like,
he's hyped.
I'm like, dude, this party goes till 3 a.m. Like, you are way too fucked up for this. They keep coming and going, but he's so big and yoked, I'm kind of scared of him a little bit too, because security's just never always around when you need him to be. So I'm like, oh, if you ever want a drink, like grab something like scary man. So like the party's like picks up. It's like, and then it's time for me to do my shtick, my show, like the fucking 30 minutes of spraying champagne on girls. Everyone climbs on the bar. I want it. It's like Mardi Gras.
I love it. It sounds so fun.
Have you ever been to Mardi Gras?
Yeah, I'm from New Orleans. Like, not from New Orleans, but I would travel all the way. My grandma lives down there. Yeah, I love New Orleans. That's why I'm like, I was literally came out of the womb flashing my tits.
I mean, we all did, but sure.
Me too.
Came out
Let me have my moment.
Okay, I'm sorry. So this guy, I'm standing on the bar, and I'm like, just
what time is it?
12:30. Okay. 1 maybe. I'm standing on the bar, packed. It's just like a fucking sports bar that's just a club, and all of a sudden I see this woman climb on top, his wife.
Of the bar.
On the bar. It's an L-shaped bar like this. I'm standing on the short part of the L. The bar goes all the way down through the whole club. She's in between my legs. I'm standing like this. She's laying right here, and he's standing next to her. And I'm like, cool. I'll pour champagne on this guy's wife. She wants it. He wants it. This is awesome. I can talk about it later. Be like, oh, this guy came through. I poured champagne on his wife. Easy clickbait content. I start pouring. She opens her legs, and he starts fingering her in front of aggressively. It's like he's trying to literally like you're trying to unclog a toilet. Like he's just like crazy. The craziest part is like anytime I do my thing is like everyone's phones are out already, right? Because everyone wants to be like, look, I went to a Slut Whisper party on my Snapchat. Like
everyone's like,
yeah, like 900 Indian guys are just like,
save, delete. Maybe we'll get some.
All of a sudden, like all these videos start going out on the internet, like birds, like POV, like some dude at the bar drinking a vodka soda. All of a sudden, it's just like, what the hell is happening in front of me? And so all this shit starts going out. Like,
what is your face like? Do you keep
there's
pouring?
There's a footage of me. I'm standing in the bar and I'm literally like, what? And I'm just watching this whole thing go down, and I'm like, they're married. Like, I don't know what I should be doing. I'm not secure. Like, this guy was ready to punch me because he loved me. Like, he's gonna murder me if I try to separate him from his wife during their act of love.
And she was about it. She was like,
full on. They were so full on. Just it was.
Livid.
If no one was there, it would have been a beautiful moment. Like if they were alone in that bar, it would have been like very.
How long did the fingering last?
It was slow motion to me. Like, you know, like you're just like,
you're like 1, 2, 3,
like
4,
it was
5.
brutal. So I don't even remember what happened. Like, I think the security pulled him off the bar. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, first of all, it's kind of hilarious that this happened because I'm like, nothing's come out really. And then the next day I wake up and I'm like, fuck. And the article is like sexual assault at Hoboken nightclub. And I'm like, this is the last thing I need for my, like, I'm like, that's it. Every gig's canceled. Like everyone's going to like, cause it was a pretty big deal. It was like, it was starting to spread on the.
How did they spin it to be like a sexual assault story?
Well, because if you're watching someone else's random footage, you just see a woman being fingered by a guy, right? You're not like, oh, they're no one's like, oh, here's their entire fucking like Carfax report for their life, like they're married, da 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 da. They came together, like this is consensual. Like, no, all it is sexual assault at Hoboken nightclub, and then like a couple blurbs about me, and I'm like, oh, this is it. My career's over. My manager calls me. He's like, listen, all the Jersey dates are canceled. I'm like,
oh fuck.
I'm like, that's it. This is it. This is the end of the last thing I need, like a guy who pours champagne on naked girls to have like a sexual assault article.
Yeah.
Thank God. But I was just sitting quietly because I'm like, I know the whole story. So like, let's hope the whole story comes out. And then slowly like Dylan Francis like posted about it, but like people were starting to joke about it. I'm like, oh, thank God. Okay. Now it's becoming a little funnier. And then more articles are like, oh, he's a cop. Oh, this is what I forgot to tell you. Oh. As he's being dragged out of this nightclub, he yells, I'm a cop. And I'm like, thank the Lord, sweet baby Jesus, you yelled at. Because it instantly went from Kirill's a piece of shit at his parties, I can't believe they let this happen, to cop sexually assaults his wife. And I'm like, whew. Like dodged a bullet, and like it all went away. But my mom freaked out because all the local like news stations. She's like, I'm driving home. Why did I hear your name on the news? They're like, sexual assault at local like Hoboken nightclub. I'm like, Kirill Machowski. She's like, what? Yeah, not good.